The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be live.
Great things, my followers, boy Meckanimal, and today I wanted to update you on the carryover of the ring handstand push-up. And a lot of people have been wondering whether or not the ring handstand push-up have been useful in my training and what was the reason why I was doing them. And as you can see on the video that I'm going to show you now, I'm able to get some certified repetition, and that from the very first week I've tried them, adding some 5 kilogram, 11 pound on my waist. I kind of custom weighted vest using my ankle weight that I put together, and the form is pretty good, you know. So the fact that I've been able to build some raw power using the ring, the moment I decided to really transfer to the parallel, to the free handstand, and the fact that my technique had already been acquired and hadn't been lost, I was able from the get-go to perform 5 repetitions of them. And I remember on my deload week I tried to go for a max of free handstand push-up, and I was able to get about 6 repetitions. So it's kind of interesting, right, that the carryover has mainly been on the strength, on the power itself, and not so much on the endurance, because it's both free handstand push-up and weighted handstand push-up are pretty close rep range wise. When you think about it, I could probably squeeze maybe 2 more repetitions on the free handstand push-up to make it 8, where I left it before I completely discontinued the free handstand push-up training like a few months ago. So whether it's 8 or 6, when I clocked it in on my deload week 3 weeks ago, between 6 and 5, the rep range difference is not so much. It's quite interesting that I have the power to make both movements look as equally close, even though I have a heavier load on my on my lower back, which is pretty challenging compared to having it closer to, you know, the center of your lever, which is the shoulders, because the further you push it back, the harder the movement becomes. So that's just what I wanted to update you guys about on this video. The carryover of the ring handstand push-up, the challenge involved in there has been bestowing me with some extra power necessary to be able to add some weight on my free handstand push-up and still be able to maintain as close as possible, if not the same quality of movement, you know, during the repetition. So that's that. It's pretty useful. That's something to think about if you guys been training for quite some time and feel like you've been stuck power wise in your handstand push-up, even for endurance purpose. Why not? Because the stronger you are, the more your endurance goes. And possibly if I was to focus a few more weeks on my free handstand push-up, I'll be able to clock in 10 repetitions on the free handstand. So it's just the endurance. It takes it doesn't take too long to acquire it, and at the same time it fades when you don't use it. So I understand that I've lost few repetitions on my free handstand push-up because I have not just been working on endurance. Strength is much harder to acquire, so once you get the strength, it's very much easier to expand on the endurance. So let's see what the future reserve. I'm planning to at least do the free handstand push-up once a week on the rings, of course. I mean the ring handstand push-up once a week for one set of maximal rep, so I can try to maintain at least my performance on it. If not, eventually or cumulatively start adding repetition on it for the next few weeks until I feel like it's taxing much of my progress on everything else, and see, you know, how it goes from there. Because definitely having a movement that just isolates the raw power from the balancing itself is necessary if you want to take your free handstand push-up to the next level. Because the fact that the balancing is a different component that require you to mobilize more resource, it may be a little hard to make everything come together and then just use that movement to boost, you know, the skill itself. You probably need some time to dissociate yourself from the skill movement pattern and just work on the raw power of your shoulder, just like I suggested last time in the video that I made about the handstand. And hopefully when everything clicks in together in time, you're able to boost up. But clearly it's been on there. You guys seen me the first time I tried the ring handstand push-up. I was shaky. I barely got one. Maybe that session I was able to get like 2, 3, that's about it. And eventually I built up to 10 repetitions. I've been stuck at 10 repetitions because for 3 weeks in a row I've tried to do more than that, but I cannot. So we shall see from there what the future reserve. Everything is, and we always be smooth the Meckanimal way. Salute.
The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be live.